Okay, now let us look at the second season of our country, and this season is known as hot and wet season. Okay, it is known as hot and wet season, also popularly known as southwest monsoon season, or simply known as monsoon season. Okay, now this season is a season of rainfall. It's a season of brightness. It's a season of happiness. Okay, it's a season of greening of the earth. It's a season of bringing joy, happiness to the plant life, animal life, and it's really a life-giving season for Indian economy. I repeat, it is a life-giving season of Indian economy. Okay, now let us look at the characteristics of this season. Okay, so the first characteristic of this season is that this season is also known as southwest monsoon season. Okay, now you might be wondering that why it is called as southwest monsoon season. Okay, we have already studied that if this is equator, Tropic of Cancer passes almost through middle part of India, and India is in northern hemisphere, and during summer time in northern hemisphere there is low atmospheric pressure, and at the same time in southern hemisphere there is high pressure. Okay, now wind always move from high pressure area to low pressure area. So when these winds are going to move towards India, after crossing the equator, they turn towards India. Now if I write here south, if I write here west, so these winds are blowing in between southwest, and that is why these winds are called as southwest monsoon winds. Okay, now you might be wondering that after crossing this equator, why do these winds turn towards India? Okay, I hope you have studied in your grade 9 one of the very important topic, and that topic is, come on, think what it must be. Yes, you are right. It is Coriolis force. It is Coriolis force. And according to this Coriolis force, wind, water, when it is moving in a northern hemisphere, they are deflected towards their right side. They are deflected towards their right side, and these winds, as they are moving now in between south and west, that's why we will call these winds by the name southwest monsoon winds. Okay, now very important thing that we will realize now here, that if I draw India here, okay, if this is equator, now these winds which are going to blow now from the southern hemisphere towards India, after crossing equator, these winds will be blowing this way. Okay, now you will realize here that some of these winds are blowing over the Arabian Sea, whereas some winds are blowing over the Bay of Bengal. It means these winds are getting divided into two branches. Okay, and that is why we call them by the first branch which is blowing over the Arabian Sea by the name Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon winds, and the second branch which blows over the Bay of Bengal, we call it by the name Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so I'll repeat once more. If I draw here equator, okay, this is southern hemisphere, India is in northern hemisphere. The winds which are blowing from the Indian Ocean, when they cross this equator, the winds turn towards their right side. Okay, some of them blow over Arabian Sea. We call them by the name Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon winds, and other branch blows over Bay of Bengal, and we call it by the name Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon winds. Okay, now very interestingly, when these winds reach India, please understand, okay, what do you think? Which will be the first place which will be receiving rainfall from them? Come on, think. Okay. Yes, you are right. Okay. Here the first state is Kerala. So they first strike Kerala. Okay. And moment they come in Kerala, they arrive with heavy thunder and lightning. I repeat, they arrive with heavy thunder and lightning and very heavy rainfall. This sudden arrival of these winds, okay, termed as burst of monsoon, which is associated with heavy rain, thunder and storm. Okay, so if the question is asked which is a state where the burst of monsoon is experienced first in India, your answer is Kerala. Okay, now let us now look at these two branches separately. Okay, as we have already studied the first branch, okay, of the southwest monsoon winds, okay, we have called it by the name Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon winds, which I am labeling as 1. Okay, now what are the characteristics of these southwest monsoon winds? Okay, the first characteristic, they arrive in India in the month of June, and Kerala is the first state that receives the rainfall. Okay, they arrive in Kerala on 1st June. Okay, as the time passes, okay, in Maharashtra, they arrive by 7th June, and by 15th June, they reach Delhi. Okay, so you will realize over here that they don't arrive in India at the same time. Okay, second important thing we have already studied, that here is a presence of uh, Aravalli, sorry, here is a presence of Western Ghat. Okay, so the windward side of the Western Ghat, the side which is on the side where the rain, where these winds are going to strike, okay, that windward side of the Western Ghat receive more rain of almost 250 centimeter. But suppose if these winds are coming this way and if they are getting struck, so a lot of rainfall will occur here, and when these winds will cross the mountain and go on other side, the rainfall will decrease. So the other side of the mountain, called as leeward side, receives approximately 60 centimeter of rainfall. Okay, so windward side receives more rainfall, whereas leeward side receives comparatively less rainfall. Okay, now second thing which is very interesting, okay, if I draw here India again, now please realize, understand this, that here is Western Ghat. Okay, on east side of India, here is Eastern Ghat. Now here is a city called Chennai. Okay, here is a city called Chennai. So when these southwest monsoon winds which blow over the Arabian Sea, when they reach this region which is on a windward side, they will give more rainfall. When they reach to this part, okay, which is between the Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, the rainfall will go on decreasing. When they reach here Eastern Ghat, again they will be blocked, giving some rainfall over here. And when they cross and reach towards Chennai, the rainfall in them will be very little. I mean to say, the moisture content in them will be very little, and that will give only 30 to 40 centimeter of rainfall to Chennai. Okay, now it means the distribution of rainfall that we understand over here is not equal. Okay, now look at the map carefully. Here is Thiruvananthapuram. Okay, it is the first place, okay, that will be receiving the rainfall, and therefore here the amount of rainfall will be about 300 centimeter, 325 centimeter. When it will go further, the rainfall will go on decreasing, and by the time it reaches Mumbai, the rainfall will be around 200 centimeter. So we realize here one important thing, that as we are moving from south to north, the amount of rainfall will go on decreasing. Okay, now let us look at the next important thing. As I told you some time back that if okay, here is Western Ghat. Okay, if here is a Western Ghat, then this side is known as windward side, whereas this other side is known as leeward side. Now what happens that whenever the winds strike the mountain, I repeat, when the winds strike the mountain here, okay, those winds begin to rise upward. So as these winds are carrying moisture, as they start moving upward, they begin to condense, and here is a formation of cloud, and there will be lot of rainfall on the windward side. But when these mountains will be crossed by these winds, on the other hand side, the amount of rainfall will decrease. This kind of rainfall where winds are getting blocked by the mountain, the winds begin to rise upward, get condensed and arrive in a form of rainfall. This kind of rainfall is known as orographic rainfall. Please remember this very important word, orographic rainfall. Okay, now you can see here the picture. Okay, this is picture of Western Ghat. You can see here the clouds, okay, which are getting blocked here by this mountain, and we realize that the rainfall here is heavy. Can you tell me what is making us realize the rainfall must be heavy here? You are right. Here we see lot of black color clouds, and also we find here lot of greenery, which means here the rainfall must be heavy. Very good. Okay, so now let us see the next picture over here. Okay, this is the three-dimensional photograph of India. Okay, here is this Western Ghat on the left hand side. Okay, that is Western Ghat. This is Arabian Sea, and you will find here a very small mountain range here. Okay, name of this mountain range is Aravalli mountain, and yes, the northern side, can you identify which mountain it will be? You are right, this is Himalaya mountain. Okay, similarly here if you see, here you will find another mountain range, and we call it by the name Eastern Ghats. And please remember, dear students, that these mountains play very important role in distribution of rainfall. I repeat, these mountains play very important role in distribution of rainfall. Now let us see how exactly they play important role. Okay, now I am going to draw here India. Okay, just before some time we saw here there is a mountain called Aravalli mountain. Then we also saw here is Western Ghat. Okay, now what will happen when the winds are going to blow from the Arabian Sea towards northern side? Okay, now look at these winds. Now you will notice, my dear students, that when these winds are moving, here Aravalli mountain range is lying parallel to them, and because it is lying parallel to them, it is not able to block them. Second important thing, this Aravalli mountain range is not a very tall mountain range. So what will happen if the winds are going to blow? Many of them will blow parallel to it, and some of them will be blowing over this, because this mountain is not very uh, tall mountain, so most of the winds will blow over them, and that is why this Aravalli mountain is not in a real position to block them, and that is why this part of India, okay, will not receive much rain because of southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so Aravalli mountain is not able to block them, and therefore here there will be less rainfall. Okay, now I am going to show you something else. On the east side here is Bay of Bengal. Okay, While explaining the Bay of Bengal branch, I will tell more about it. But right now we will see one important thing, that when some of the winds which blow from Bay of Bengal towards Aravalli mountain, they will be blocked to some extent by Aravalli mountain. Second thing, these winds will start shedding the moisture on the way. So by the time they reach the western side of this Aravalli mountain, hardly any moisture will be left over them, and that is why here will be the formation of Indian desert known as the Thar desert. Okay, you can see here in this picture, this is Aravalli mountain. Okay, and you can see these winds, okay, over this mountain are blowing over the mountain. This mountain is not very tall mountain, and that's why most of the winds are able to blow over this mountain, and they are not getting blocked by this Aravalli mountain. Okay, also that is why the western side of this Aravalli mountain will become a desert. Okay, so if question is asked that why Thar is a desert region, okay, so we now know that there are two important reasons why Thar is a desert. Reason number one, Aravalli mountain is lying parallel to the southwest monsoon winds which are blowing over the Arabian Sea. So therefore, Aravalli is not able to block them. And reason number two, the Bay of Bengal branch of the southwest monsoon winds, while blowing towards Aravalli mountain, will start shedding lots of it moisture, and by the time it reaches Aravalli and crosses them, hardly any moisture is left in them, and that is why the western side where Thar desert is located, okay, hardly any rain will be received, and that is why that part is a desert part, and that part of India is known as Thar desert. It is also known as the Great Indian Desert. Okay, now if the question is asked that why does rainfall decrease from south to north, okay, I have already given you the reason, that when we are moving from south to north, first thing, the southern part will receive the rainfall. Okay, so southern part will be the first part to receive the rain. Then the second part will be the central India, and by the time you reach to the northern part, okay, it will be reaching over there by 15th of July. That means the amount of rainfall received in northern part will be after 15th July, whereas in South India it will begin from 1st June itself. Therefore, the duration of the day, the rainfall is more. And second thing, as these winds are moving towards the interior, they will start losing the moisture, and that is why the rainfall will go on decreasing as we move from south to north. Okay, so Thiruvananthapuram, which is located here, will receive almost 325 centimeter rainfall. Then we will reach to Panji, which will receive around 300 centimeter rainfall. When you reach to Mumbai, the rainfall is 200 and about 250 centimeter, and as you go further, the rainfall will go on decreasing. Okay, so now let us look at the second branch of these southwest monsoon winds. Okay, the first branch we have already seen. The first branch of the southwest monsoon winds is blowing over the Arabian Sea. The second branch of the southwest monsoon winds is blowing over the Bay of Bengal. Okay. Now please understand one very important thing, that this branch is blowing almost parallel to the eastern coastal area. Okay. Now this is running parallel, so this part won't receive rainfall from this. Okay. However, when these winds cross this plain area where West Bengal is lying, and when we go further north, here is the presence of Himalaya mountains. So after reaching here, those winds are deflected towards the west side. Okay, so after reaching the After reaching the West Bengal region, these winds are deflected towards the left and they start blowing towards the interior part of India. Okay, so as they move towards the interior part, okay, the amount of rainfall in them will start decreasing. So the place number 1 will be receiving more rainfall. Place number 2 will receive comparatively less rainfall. Place number 3 will receive even less rainfall. And here is which mountain we have studied? You are right. Here is presence of Aravalli mountain. So when these winds will reach here, Aravalli will be blocking them and certain amount of rainfall will occur here. But when these winds will go on the western side of Aravalli mountain, hardly any rain will lift in them. There won't be much rainfall over there. Okay. However, something interesting thing is happening here. Okay. Now again, please pay attention. See, here is Himalaya mountain and here are actually 3 hills. Okay. These hills are known as, okay, I'll draw them again. Okay. Here is India and here are 3 hills. Okay. They are known as Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. When this Bay of Bengal branch reach this Garo and Khasi region, okay, these winds will be blocked here by these Garo and Khasi hills. So the windward side will receive extremely heavy rainfall and the world's uh, highest rainfall receiving place called as Mawsynram is located on the windward side of this Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon winds, and there will be extremely torrential rain. And when these winds will cross this Garo and Khasi range, and when they will go north, okay, where Shillong is located, that place will receive about 200 centimeter of rainfall. And we have already studied that one branch is reflected towards the left, that means towards the west side, and as it moves on, the amount of rainfall will go on decreasing. Okay, and we have already studied that while moving towards the western side, the amount of rainfall will go on decreasing. Now here one more interesting thing will happen. Please pay attention, see this. Now this is Arabian Sea branch of southwest monsoon winds. This is Bay of Bengal of southwest monsoon winds, and these winds merge here in north central part of India. Okay, they merge in the north central part of India, and here is Himalaya mountain. So that's why we say they will merge at the foothills of the Himalaya mountain. Okay, so as you can see here, this is, you are correct, southwest monsoon winds blowing over Arabian Sea, whereas these are the southwest monsoon winds blowing over Bay of Bengal, and they will merge here in north central part of India. Okay, now according to the distribution of rainfall, okay, in India we have 4 regions. Okay, please understand that based on distribution of rainfall in India we have 4 regions. Okay, the region number 1 we call it by the region of heavy rainfall. Now please understand, when we say the word heavy rainfall, we mean to say the rainfall more than 200 centimeter. Okay, then second region is the region which is receiving moderate rainfall. That means the area receiving 100 to 200 centimeter of rainfall. So when we look at this, we realize that the distribution of rainfall is not equal. That means it is uneven. Therefore, unevenness is one of the characteristic of Indian monsoon. Okay, the third region is known as the area of receiving the low rainfall. Okay, now but before that, let us look at the first region, the areas of heavy rainfall: Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal, Okay, these are the major regions which are receiving the heavy rainfall. Okay, then the regions that are receiving the moderate rainfall, that means rainfall between 100 to 200 centimeter. These regions include the Ganga Valley, okay, Middle Ganga Valley, then Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, and eastern part of Maharashtra. Okay. Now the third region is area are receiving moderate rainfall. Okay, moderate rainfall. That is the third area receiving moderate rainfall. And when we say the word moderate, I mean to say the rainfall in a range of 50 to 150 centimeter, and the areas which receive it is Upper Ganga Valley. Upper Ganga Valley, that means the states like Uttar Pradesh western part and Punjab and Haryana, okay, and also some part of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, okay. And the fourth region is area that is receiving scanty rainfall. So when I say the word scanty rainfall, I mean to say rainfall less than 50 centimeter, and those areas include Jammu Kashmir. Okay. Now Jammu Kashmir, the reason is Jammu Kashmir is at very high altitude. So there instead of rainfall, you will have the snowfall because of cold conditions. And second important thing, because this Jammu Kashmir is very far away from the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. So by the time the monsoon winds reach over there, the amount of rainfall will go on decreasing. We have also seen that the western part of Rajasthan also receives pretty less rainfall, and when the winds will cross the western Ghat and turn towards the leeward side, which is also known as a rain shadow area of the Deccan Plateau, that is also the region that is receiving scanty rainfall. Okay, so in this way, based on distribution of rainfall, we have four regions receiving heavy rainfall, that means rainfall more than 200 centimeter. Second, we call by the name the areas receiving what kind of rainfall. Okay, the first one as we saw is the heavy rainfall. Second is the moderately heavy rainfall. The third one is the moderate rainfall, and the fourth one we call it by the name scanty rainfall. And as we see them, we realize one very important thing, that the rainfall in India is not evenly distributed. Okay, now some more characteristics of the southwest monsoon winds. The first characteristic that now please see here, if I draw this India, okay, here is the state of Tamil Nadu, here is Eastern Ghat, here is a Western Ghat. So when the winds blow over the Arabian Sea, okay, by the time they reach Tamil Nadu's eastern part, there is hardly any rain left. And when the winds are blowing over the Bay of Bengal branch, because they are moving towards West Bengal area, they don't shed much rainfall in coastal area of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so except in Tamil Nadu, they give rainfall to almost entire India for a period of about 2 to 4 months. Second thing, this rainfall in India is erratic in nature. Erratic means which is not very reliable, something which is unpredictable. We call it by the name erratic in nature. Third important characteristic, this rainfall in India is orographic in nature. We have already seen meaning of the word orographic is when the winds reach the mountain, the winds begin to rise upward. Those winds cool down and come down in a form of rain. We call it by the name orographic rainfall. Okay, but we have also seen that some amount of rainfall is occurring over the Bay of Bengal when the water gets heated, and then that water rise upward. It gets evaporated, it rises upward, okay, and it cools down and straight away comes down. Then we call that kind of the rain by the name convectional type of rainfall, okay. And you people are aware that our country India is basically an agricultural country, and our economy depends on agriculture, and therefore we can say that Indian monsoon, that means the rainfall, affects Indian economy. Okay, our economy is very much dependent on this Indian monsoon season, that is rainy season. The sixth characteristic, rainfall in India is irregular. Irregular. Okay. When we say the irregular, we meant to say with respect to time and with respect to basically time. Okay. What does exactly that mean? It means that when we say that rainfall arrives in June uh, at the coast of Kerala, but we cannot say with 100% guarantee that it will definitely come on 1st June. Okay, so it might be delayed or it might arrive there early. We call this characteristic by the name irregular. And the final characteristic is amount of rainfall in India is variable. Variable. Okay, it means that if average rainfall of any particular place is, let us say, 100 centimeter, so every year it's not necessary that it will be definitely 100 centimeter. It might be less than 100, maybe 80 centimeter, or it may be more than 100. That means 120 centimeter. When that happens, okay, it is variable in terms of amount. It is variable in terms of space. Okay, that means in certain areas very heavy rainfall, certain areas less rainfall. Okay, sometimes it rains very heavily, sometimes it rains very little. So conditions are not very favorable, they are unpredictable, and that is very dangerous, and that is not good for Indian agriculture. Therefore they cause havoc in Indian agriculture. Okay, so these are various characteristics of Indian monsoon. Okay, okay. Now let us look at a distribution of rainfall in India. Okay, I repeat, let us look at a topic called distribution of rainfall. Okay, now please understand one very important thing, that rainfall in India is not distributed equally. Okay, can you think why it is not distributed equally? Yes, you are right. The reason is Kerala is the first one to receive rain. By the time it reaches Delhi, it is 15th of July. That means the duration of rainfall in Kerala is in this way more, because in the month of June itself it's begin to rain, but by the time of July mid it is going to reach Delhi. That means it is going to reach there 1.5 month late. That means definitely that region will be comparatively not receiving as much rain as Kerala is receiving. Okay, so we can say here that distribution of rainfall in India is not even. Okay, now based on this distribution in our country, we have four different regions. Okay, the region number one, we call it by the name area of heavy rainfall. Okay, when I say the word heavy, I mean to say rainfall more than 200 centimeter. And then we can say that the rainfall, such a heavy rainfall is received in the states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, West Bengal, and it is also on the windward side of the Western Ghat, where the rainfall is more than 200 centimeter. Okay, then based on rainfall, we have a second area where the rainfall is in between 100 to 200 centimeter, and we call it by the name moderately heavy rainfall receiving area, which includes Middle Ganga Valley, then Madhya Pradesh, some part of Orissa, and eastern Maharashtra. Okay. Now, depending on this rainfall, the third region is the region receiving moderate rainfall. Please remember the previous region was moderately heavy, whereas this region is region of moderate rainfall, and this region receives the rainfall from 50 to 100 centimeter, and it includes Upper Ganga Valley, it includes eastern Rajasthan, Punjab, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh, and some part of Tamil Nadu. Okay, and the fourth region is a region receiving rainfall which is scanty rainfall. So this is the area of scanty rainfall which is less than 50 centimeter. So if any area receiving rainfall less than 50 centimeter, we call it by the name the area receiving scanty rainfall. Okay, based on this distribution, we have western Rajasthan, then Jammu Kashmir, okay, as well as western side of Rajasthan, then eastern side of Western Ghat, okay, which is the leeward side of Western Ghat, okay, that is also the area that is receiving the scanty rainfall. Okay, then let us now look at some of the important characteristics of rainfall in our country. Okay, the first very important characteristic that this rain in India, okay, except Tamil Nadu state, it gives rainfall to almost entire India for a period of 4 months. Okay, we have already seen that why Tamil Nadu won't receive much rain. Okay, just to revise, here is Western Ghat, this side is Eastern Ghat. Okay, the southwest monsoon winds, while blowing towards Tamil Nadu, are first blocked by Western Ghat. Then by the time they reach to Tamil Nadu, okay, here is Eastern Ghat again blocking them. So by the time they reach to this area, the rainfall becomes very, very little. And the second branch, southwest monsoon wind second branch, which is the Bay of Bengal branch, is directed towards West Bengal. So it doesn't give rain to this Tamil Nadu's eastern part. Okay. A second important characteristic that this rainfall is erratic in nature. Meaning of the word erratic means something which is like mad. Its behavior like a mad. Okay. Somewhere the rainfall is very heavy, somewhere it is scanty, somewhere it is moderate, and then we say, oh, what is this here? So this rainfall is not very, very constant everywhere. That means it is erratic in nature. The third characteristic, it is orographic in nature, and we have already seen meaning of the word orographic is when the winds are moving towards the mountain, they are blocked by the mountain, then they begin to rise upward, then they condense and they come down in a form of rain. We call it that kind of rainfall by the name orographic rainfall. Whereas conventional rainfall, what happens? Now I'll show you here. Okay, if this is India, okay, here is Bay of Bengal. So what happens? The water over Bay of Bengal, okay, this water begins to get heated, and this water begin to get evaporated and start rising upward over the Bay of Bengal itself. After going up, this water vapor will condense and it will again come down in a form of rain. So this kind of rainfall is called as convectional type of rainfall. Now, as you people are aware, our country's main occupation is agriculture, and agriculture mainly depends upon Indian monsoon. Therefore, this Indian monsoon greatly affect Indian economy, which is basically depending upon agriculture. The next characteristic of Indian agriculture, that this rainfall in India is irregular. Okay, meaning of the word irregular means it does not come on time. For example, when we say that in Kerala it is going to arrive on 1st June, but it is not necessary that every time it will come exactly on 1st June. It might arrive 1 week before, it might arrive 1 week later. So that means it is irregular. And the last characteristic, that this rainfall is variable. It is variable in terms of time, in terms of space, and in terms of amount. Okay, in terms of time, space, and amount. It means, for example, if in Maharashtra in month of June the amount of rainfall expected is, let us say, 100 centimeter, then it may not be exactly 100 centimeter, it might be 80 centimeters. So it is variable in what? Amount. Okay. Variable in time. That means if in the month of June, if it is 100 centimeter rainfall expected, okay, then but it may not take place 100 centimeter in June. So it may take 1.5 months, it may take 2 months. So the time is also getting changed. And third thing, it is variable in space. That means from place to place, the amount of rainfall in India is not same. For example, in Mawsynram region, Cherrapunji region, the rainfall is more than 1100 centimeter. Whereas if you go to western side of Rajasthan, where Thar desert is located, the rainfall is about 25 centimeter. That means the amount. So as the place changes, the rainfall also changes. So we say, oh, it is not even. Means it is variable in terms of space, in terms of time, and in terms of amount. Okay, so these are in this way the various characteristics of Indian monsoon. Thank you.